What is up, everybody? My name is Daniel Whalen, and I'm bringing this video to you guys because I believe I am the best in the world at getting skinny, fat men ripped. As you guys see, I had one of the craziest, probably the craziest 1 year transformations I've ever seen. I've seen fat dudes lose a ton of weight. I've seen skinny, lean dudes bulk up and get jacked, but I've never seen somebody who was in a similar starting place to me, where they went from skinny fat, where they're like average weight, but no muscle definition, and in just 1 year getting a dream physique. Not to mention in just the first 3 or 4 months getting actually really lean, like peak cut, and then putting on another 15 pounds of muscle while staying just as lean. So I'm going to bring this video to you guys because there is this great quote that says, if you're truly an expert at something, you should be able to explain it to a third grader or a 6-year-old or a 5-year-old and allow them to understand. If you can't do that, then you don't actually understand what you're teaching. And I bring this to you guys because I see so many people on social media that they say things that sound cool in your head, but they actually don't make any sense. And there's no consistency between the things they're saying. Maybe they'll make a video, they'll be like, this food is killing your testosterone. And then you see another video where they're eating that food and they're talking about some other thing. Or a few months later, they post about some food that should be good, but it's really not. Like, it's so confusing. And I see so many people talking about, oh, you shouldn't cut your calories too low because it'll kill your metabolism. You'll break your metabolism, whatever that means. You shouldn't do this exercise over this exercise. Any of that confusion, I'm going to completely eliminate because I'm going to break this down in the most basic sense. How I transform my physique to go from this to this to this. And this is not just one crazy lucky journey. I then bulked up from here, as you see me right here, to a higher body fat percentage. And then I got shredded again, and then I bulked up again, and then I got shredded again. I know what I'm talking about. Better Lifestyle 365. I created this business so I could one-on-one coach people and get them to their ripped physiques because I know my stuff and I know my formula works. So I'm going to explain to you how I get my guys ripped. As you see, here are some of my guys. This is Mustafa, lost 23 pounds and got abs for the first time in his life. This is Alex after 1 month. After 1 month, this dude had a crazy, 2-year glow up. Got abs, got shoulders, muscle definition. This is Graham in just 90 days. This dude got shredded. It's sick. And if you want to go on my Instagram, this is my Instagram, Better Lifestyle 365. You can just go through all these client texts. So many positive messages my guys send me every single solitary day because the systems are... They're not foolproof because if you don't give effort and if you don't actually put in the effort to learn it, then you're not going to. But they work and they're seamless. You know, this journey is hard, but it's straightforward. So you can go on my Instagram and you can click through all these stories, all these video testimonials. Everyone's happy. Everyone's loving the results they saw. And you know, you can see this for yourself. Just click on my Instagram here. I'll put in the description. But let's get into the actual video. So this is skinny fat to ripped, explained to a third grader. Let's get into it. So firstly, let's understand how does the body change to go from skinny fat to defined, like what transformation actually needs to happen in order for somebody to go from being average weight. They're not overweight, they're not underweight. They look normal with clothes on. They don't look overly fat or overly super skinny, but when they have no shirt on, there's no definition. There's no, big chest, there's no defined arms, there's no abs, there's nothing. It's just it's just blank, How does the body actually change to go from that to having the abs, to having the shreds, to having the definition? Well, firstly, we need to understand 3 things. The first thing we need to understand is why we look skinny fat. The second thing we need to understand is what should we do in order to make the change, or understand what needs to happen in order to make the change to go from skinny fat to ripped. And the third thing is how we actually do that, like what that actually looks like. So I'm going to break that down to you. Firstly, let's take a look at it. So why do we look skinny fat? At the most basic level, our body adapts. Our bodies reflect our lifestyle. Have you seen those guys who work construction and, they're never really super skinny or super fat with no muscle? Usually if they're fat, they're big and bulky because regardless of how much fat they have, working construction is a physically demanding job. So oftentimes when people are skinny fat, they work desk jobs. They sit down all day. Maybe they even do a good amount of running and cardio and walking, but there's no there's no demand for having muscle mass. There's no demand for having high levels of strength, which causes them to look skinny, fat, and undefined. And it's just as simple as the human body adapts, not only to your lifestyle, not only to your daily routine or the job you work, but also to the food you eat every single day. If you're eating foods that aren't great for building muscle, don't support muscle growth. If you're eating foods that are easy to overeat with, well, then you're going to store more body fat just naturally, right? So now I'm gonna break down what needs to actually happen in order for the human body to react, in order for our bodies to go from skinny fat to ripped. So the answer is that we need to give it a reason to grow muscles, and we need to give it a reason to lose body fat. It's so simple. It's like if you take a skinny fat guy, I was showing you up here, you take this guy, you say, okay, we're going to grow your muscles and we're going to shed your body fat. He looks like this. It's that simple. It's no more complicated than that. This guy, who used to be me, he just needed bigger muscles and less body fat. And we did that. And we made it happen. Now, this wasn't my 1 year transformation. This is me after about 3 years. But you saw my 1 year transformation up here. We lost body fat. We gained muscle. It's that simple. We did that at the same time. Now I'm going to break down what needs to actually happen in order to do that. So yeah, how do we do that? 2 things. We need to focus on growing muscles and we need to focus on losing body fat. First, I'm going to talk about how we get our bodies to lose body fat. Because at the basic level, our body adapts. So what reason can we give it to adapt into a state where it doesn't need as much body fat as it has, so it gets rid of it? It says, we have too much body fat, let's get rid of it. Let's get into it. So, how we get rid of body fat? We need to understand that it comes down to the amount of energy we consume and every single day, and the amount of energy we use every single day. Everybody knows, a 2-year-old knows that our bodies use energy. That's how I'm talking to you guys right now. That's how I hit a leg day this morning. It used energy. When I'm typing on my keyboard, when I'm making this presentation, this flowchart, it required energy. I wouldn't be able to function without energy. You wouldn't be able to work your job or walk your dog or talk to your friends without energy. Energy is required for our body to function. It's so simple. Everybody understands this. There's no need to overcomplicate it. So, each day, we have a certain amount of energy that we use, right? It's not just like we use energy and there's no real way to calculate that. No, it's quantifiable. Now that word may be a little too complex for a 3rd grader, but in other words, there's a certain amount of energy we use every single day. We can count it. We can count the amount of energy points we use every single day, if you want to think about it like that. So, and we get this energy from food. So like, that's our energy source. If you think about it like a video game, those little dots. Actually, no, that wouldn't be a good idea. In Minecraft, for example, you need to eat the food, and your health bar goes up. And if your health bar, if you're running around a lot, for those of you who've played Minecraft, when you're running around a lot, the health bar starts to go down, and then you eat food, and it goes back up to the top. That's the same thing as real life. Minecraft is just like life. We get this energy from food, but different foods have different amount of energy, right? Basic level, and I'll get into how you can know that in a little bit. But let's say this is our amount of energy that we used today. Let's say it was 2,500 energy points. Also, energy points are just another word for calories, but I'm going to say energy points because it sounds more simplified. And when I say calories, people start to be a little more confused. So just for the sake of clarity, I'm going to say energy points. So let's say, for example, I'm going to bed and I use 2,500 points of energy, 2,500 points of energy. Cool. Remember, like I said, we get our energy from food. Now, let's say on that day where I'm going to bed after using 2,500 energy points, I only ate 2,000. Then you're kind of stumped. You're like, wait a minute. If you used 2,500 points of energy, but you only consumed 2,000 points of energy, how is that possible? Wouldn't you only be able to use as much as you ate if you get your energy from food? Well, here's the thing. This 500 energy deficit, calorie deficit, this 500 difference between how much we ate and how much we used, guess where that energy comes from? Body fat. See, body fat is an energy storage. Every single time in your life where you ate more calories than you used in a single day, your body stored it on your body, on your belly, on your face, on your arms, on your legs. It stored it as fat, as energy for later. So it's like, okay, we ate more than we needed today, let's save it for later. That's all it is, right? So now that we understand that when we consume less energy than we burn every single day, or than we use every single day, our body starts using our fat and dispensing of our fat, then you're probably thinking, okay, well, how much energy do I use every single day? And that's where there's a website for that. So let's look up BMR calculator. BMR, not BMI. This stands for basal metabolic rate. BMI stands for body mass index. When we look up this, let's see, I'll put in my stats. I'm 21, I'm 5'11", and I'm 185 pounds. So this is your BMR. So this is like at the basic level. You lay in bed all day, you don't do anything. You're gonna actually no. This isn't the basic. This is the basic. If you were sedentary, you'd still use this much energy, or I would at least. You have to put in your own data for yourself. This is just like 70% of your total. It'll always be. This just includes like your heart beating, you breathing, your digestive system working, all of that. It's like just like basic innate human functions, like your reptile brain, right? But for me, I exercise daily and do some intense exercise multiple times a week. So it's telling me I use 2,893 calories or energy points on average. Cool. Now what do I do with that? Well, like I said, if I wanted to lose body fat, I would just have to eat less than that. It's that simple. I just have to eat 2,700 energy points, 2,700 calories a day, 2,600, 2,400, right? The steeper the difference is, the faster you'll lose the fat, but it's a balancing act because you don't want to go so low that it's like so unmanageable. You can't even like push yourself in your workouts. You're just so low energy. You're always like thinking about food, right? So it's a balancing act. For me personally, I like about eating 2,200 calories a day when I'm dieting down, which puts me in about a 700 calorie deficit, or energy deficit. And that allows me to still see pretty fast progress, like lose over a pound of body fat per week, but it's at least manageable to the point where I'm not, constantly thinking about food and I'm just completely debilitated, like super low energy, right? So now you're probably wondering, okay, but you typed in your data. Let's say you also use 2,900 calories a day on average. How do I know how much I'm consuming, right? Do I have to look at the nutrition labels and count all that up? Well, not necessarily. There's an app called MyFitnessPal. It's the app I've been using for my entire journey since it was the first app I ever downloaded since I look like this. MyFitnessPal. Just to show you guys. You can get it on your computer too, but it looks like this. This is the thing, not to get confused or any, just to get rid of any confusion, just to be crystal clear. So, you download MyFitnessPal and then everything you eat, you just upload into the app. It's that simple. I eat an apple, I go on MyFitnessPal, it says add food, big blue buttons, add food, click add food. It says, I search up apple, boom, click it, add to my food log. It'll take that apple, whatever, let's say there's 100 calories in the apple. It'll say, okay, you have, and let's say I wanted to have 2,200 calories a day, so I could lose, like I said, like a 1.5 pounds per week. It'll say, okay, you have 2,100 calories left for the day, and it keeps track for you, right? So we have that, and then we need to go back to how do we do that, right? So this is how we lose body fat. As long as we do everything we just covered, the body fat will be stimulating. We don't even have to touch it. Just follow the food plan. Just eat like less energy points than you're burning every single day, and the fat burning process will take care of itself, right? You'll lose the fat. You don't really have to pay attention to it. Now, we need to figure out how we can give our muscles a reason to grow, because like I said, it's not just about losing the body fat, it's also about gaining the muscle. So it's pretty simple. We just need to hit the gym 3 to 6 times per week. It's super simple. Because if you think about it, let's say you do work a desk job, All you need to do is give your muscles a reason to grow. Train to failure, go in the gym, do some hard workouts. And not hard in the sense where you're like exhausted and sweating and like it's like a cardio workout. I'm not saying going on a run or do some like Pilates or something. I'm saying weightlift, pick up a dumbbell that you know you can't do more than 8 reps of, and you can at least do 6 reps of, and bust out a set of them. Bust out a set of dumbbell curls. Maybe you hit failure. That 7th rep, you can barely get up, but you get it up. And then you go for the 8th rep, and you're like, oh, I can't. Okay, cool. Boom, you hit failure in your 7th rep. Cool. And you just take that same logic, whether you do a bench press, whether you do a chest fly, a lat pull down, a leg press, a squat. You take that same logic. You take that same logic. You hit failure, 6 to 8 rep range. Go up to the dumbbell rack and say, okay, I need to pick a weight I can at least do 6 reps of, but I know I can't do more than 8 reps of. And let's say your strength is increasing, you're stronger than you thought, you're able to do 8, 9 reps of it. You're like, okay, cool. Let me just add 5 pounds. Cool. Now I hit failure in 7 reps. Cool. There, we're exactly where we need to be. And then, just to give you guys some more guidance, what do I do in the gym? Well, just have day 1 be a pushing day. So all of your pushing muscles, so your chest presses, your chest flies, like the pec deck fly. This is like pushing forwards. Your shoulder press, overhead press, like this. Your dips, pushing down. Your push-ups, incline dumbbell press. Like, I'm just giving you guys a bunch of options, but this is how you want to really structure it. All your pushing muscles, your tricep push downs, boom, easy. Day 2, pulling. Your rows, your dumbbell rows, your barbell rows, your lat pull downs, your pull-ups, all of your pulling, your bicep curls, your pulling. And then day 3 is just doing both pushing and pulling just with your legs. So like your squats, your hamstring curl machine, your leg extension machine, and your calf extension machine. That's all I do for leg days. I do 3 sets of back squat, 3 sets of leg extension, or no, 3 sets of back squat, 3 sets of calf raise, 3 sets of leg extension, 3 sets of hamstring curls, and then maybe I'll throw in like a couple sets of the hip adduction where you bring your legs together. And then you just repeat the cycle. You can take a rest day or you can go back to day 1, but you just repeat the cycle. And ideally, just to give you guys some more guidance, you want to do 4 to 6 sets per muscle group if you're training 6 days a week. So if you're going day 1, 2, 3, day 1, 2, 3, rest, day 1, 2, 3, day 1, 2, 3, rest, that's 6 times a week, then you only want to do like 4 to 6 sets per muscle group. Your workouts will probably only be like 45 minutes to 50 minutes long. And what that looks like is like I said, 4 to 6 sets per muscle group. So like your shoulders, you do 2 sets of overhead press, 2 sets of lateral raises with the dumbbells, and 2 sets of dumbbell press, 2 sets of pec deck flies, and then like 3 sets of tricep push down. Boom. You did all the pushing muscles, about 4 sets. Perfect. If you're doing 3 days a week, then you want to just basically double that. So just incorporate a few more exercises. Maybe you do the 2 sets of chest fly, then 2 sets of dumbbell press, then 2 sets of incline bench press, then 2 sets of dips. Something like that, right? That's 8 sets for your chest. Take each set to failure. And it's so simple. That's actually it. That's actually all you need to do, right? It's so simple. And just another thing I should add in here is just make sure you're eating high protein foods. Like I said here, you will track how much food you eat. You have the MyFitnessPal app, so every single time you are hungry and you eat food, just make sure it's a protein source. So your chicken, everyone knows a protein source. You ask a 3rd grader, what's protein? They're going to point to the steak. They're going to point to the eggs. They're going to point to the chicken, the tuna fish. And then there's protein bars. It's like protein on them. Protein shakes. It's so simple. Don't overthink it. So just have that, and ideally, however many pounds you weigh, just eat that many grams of protein per day. If you want, you can go into my other videos where I walk you through exactly how I ate 200 grams of protein every single day, and I break that down, like what my daily routine was. But that's it, guys. That's so simple. I'm telling you guys, I'm an expert at this. That's why I explained it like a 3rd grader. Hopefully, if you had any 3rd graders watching this too, like you had your kid watching this or your little brother, hopefully he understood it perfectly, because that was the goal. But It's that simple, guys. If you want to work with me one on one and build a game plan, like you saw my other guys get in shape and you see all my guys killing it on my Instagram, then you can book a call with me in the description below. We'll chat. We'll go over your current situation, what your goal is in the next 3 to 6 months, and then build a game plan, build a long term timeline so you can 100% get to your goal. I know what I do gets results. I'm super confident in what I do, but I only work with people who are serious. And so just don't waste my time. If you're looking for a quick tip, just keep watching my videos. But if you're serious about going on one-on-one coaching for the next 3 to 6 months and really ensuring that you're 100% going to get to this goal, then you can book a call with me and we'll chop it up. But otherwise, guys, follow me on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description below. I post every morning. Where is it? I post my morning push-ups. So this morning, 4:35 a.m. Today's day 320 out of 1,000. Stay tuned for day 1,000. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Subscribe, like, it really helps with the algorithm. And I love you guys. I appreciate all the support recently. It's been great.